December 2nd, 2025, a date that will be remembered across Europe's industrial landscape. In Europe's industrial heartland, a strange and unsettling silence has settled, replacing the usual hum of productivity. Once bustling automotive plants, which for decades symbolized progress and prosperity, now stand eerily still, their vast interiors echoing with absence. Robotic arms once tirelessly assembling the vehicles of tomorrow are frozen mid-motion. Conveyor belts, the arteries of industry, lie dormant and silent. This isn't a strike or a holiday, it's a crisis of unprecedented scale, one that has brought production to a grinding halt. The flow of rare earth elements and advanced semiconductors, vital lifeblood for modern manufacturing, has slowed to a trickle, paralyzing the continent's manufacturing might and leaving shelves bare. In Wolfsburg, Germany, workers gather in anxious clusters, their faces etched with worry. Their future is uncertain as half-finished electric vehicles line the factory floor, waiting for parts that may never come. These missing components, rare earth magnets and sophisticated chips, are the brains and muscles of the electric vehicle revolution, essential for every innovation and every promise of a greener future. Without them, Europe's green ambitions are stalled, and the dream of a sustainable future is put on hold. Across the continent, from France to Italy, the story is the same. Disruption, distress, and a supply chain in chaos. The ripple effects are felt in every corner of the industry. Plant managers stare at screens filled with red alerts, making desperate calls to suppliers who have no answers, their frustration mounting with each passing hour. Demand for electric vehicles is higher than ever, but the supply chain has become a choke point, exposing a vulnerability Europe can no longer ignore. Warehouses fill with unsold cars, each one a symbol of halted progress. The auto industry, once a symbol of strength and resilience, is now hostage to a dependency it barely understood, its fate tied to distant suppliers. This is more than an industrial slowdown, it's a geopolitical wake-up call, a moment of reckoning for an entire continent. For years, Europe trusted in global supply chains, believing interdependence would bring stability, prosperity, and peace of mind. Now, that interdependence is a weapon, wielded by a single powerful rival, China. The balance of power has shifted, and Europe is feeling the consequences. As diplomats scramble in Brussels, searching for solutions and negotiating behind closed doors, the silence on the factory floor grows louder, a continent forced to confront its strategic vulnerabilities and rethink its future. The future of Europe's industry and its green transition hangs in the balance. The choices made now will echo for generations to come. Rare earth elements, names like neodymium and dysprosium, are the invisible backbone of modern technology. Though you may never see them, these metals are essential to the devices and systems that power our daily lives. They're not truly rare, but mining and refining them is difficult, costly, and often environmentally challenging. Extracting them requires specialized processes and significant investment. Without these metals, the devices and vehicles we rely on, like smartphones, laptops, and electric cars, would be impossible to produce or use efficiently. In electric vehicles, rare earth magnets power the motors, delivering the efficiency, torque, and range that drivers expect from modern EVs. Without them, EVs would be heavier, less powerful, and far less practical for everyday use, making the transition to clean transportation much harder. Rare earths are found throughout a car, in sensors, safety systems, advanced electronics, and even the polish that keeps touchscreens clear and responsive. Each vehicle uses only a small amount, but when multiplied by millions of cars produced each year, the global demand for rare earths becomes enormous and ever-growing. This deep reliance creates a profound vulnerability, one now exposed by the current crisis as supply chains struggle to keep up. The just-in-time manufacturing model has collapsed as the ghosts in the machine, the missing rare earths, become painfully real for automakers and workers alike. Europe's green ambitions, from clean energy to electric mobility, are now haunted by the absence of these critical elements, threatening progress toward a sustainable future. The rare earth story is, above all, China's story. Over decades, Beijing built a near monopoly on mining, refining, and manufacturing rare earths. While the West closed mines for environmental reasons, China invested, undercut competitors, and took control. Today, China mines 60% of the world's rare earths and refines nearly 90%. It also dominates the production of high-performance magnets and components, This vertical integration gives Beijing immense leverage, one it has used before, as Japan learned in 2010. Now, with tensions high, Europe faces the same threat. Its green transition depends on China's goodwill. For years, cost and efficiency blinded Europe to the risks of dependency. Now, the bill has come due, and Europe's industrial future is tied to decisions made in Beijing. The challenge is no longer just economic, it's about sovereignty. In Brussels, urgency fills the air as EU officials scramble to negotiate with Beijing, their faces etched with concern as the clock ticks down on critical decisions. The language is diplomatic, but the reality is desperation. Europe needs rare earths and advanced microchips to keep its factories running and its economy afloat. The EU is not negotiating from a position of strength, it's a supplicant, hoping China won't turn off the tap and disrupt vital supply chains. Threats of tariffs or WTO complaints offer little leverage and risk escalating the crisis, potentially making the situation even more precarious for European industries. Europe's dependency is too deep for quick fixes, forcing diplomats to offer concessions for temporary relief, even as they search for longer-term solutions. This crisis exposes the contradictions in Europe's relationship with China, partner, competitor, and rival, all at once, making every interaction fraught with complexity. The diplomatic dance is about more than securing shipments. It's about redefining a relationship that has left Europe vulnerable and uncertain about its future. Every polite request is a tacit admission of strategic failure, a reminder of how much is at stake and how little control Europe currently holds. The road to strategic autonomy will be long and difficult, requiring tough choices, innovation, and a fundamental rethink of Europe's economic dependencies. For now, Europe must navigate a complex adversarial relationship with its most critical supplier, balancing cooperation with caution at every turn. The stakes are nothing less than the future of its industrial base, and the outcome will shape Europe's destiny for years to come. The supply crisis doesn't stop at car makers, it ripples through the entire ecosystem. Tier 1 suppliers like Bosch and Valeo halt production, triggering chaos for hundreds of smaller firms. These smaller suppliers, lacking cash reserves, face bankruptcy after just weeks of idled orders. The pain reaches consumers, empty showrooms, year-long waits for new EVs, and growing frustration. Some buyers stick with old gasoline cars, others turn to Chinese brands with secure supply. The result: lost revenue, stalled innovation, and a vicious cycle of declining competitiveness. The crisis is no longer just about parts, it's about survival for Europe's auto industry. The fragility of globalization is now painfully clear. Rare earths have turned the global economy into a geopolitical chessboard. China controls the center, using its dominance to shape industrial and foreign policy worldwide. The EU, long a champion of trade and diplomacy, finds itself outmaneuvered in a zero-sum game. The US, more tuned to the stakes, is building alliances and onshoring production for national security. Europe is scrambling to catch up, but internal divisions slow its response. Every decision, where to source materials, build factories, or form partnerships, now carries geopolitical weight. The auto crisis is just the most visible symptom of a deeper strategic contest. Europe must learn the rules of this new game, or risk irrelevance. The stakes: industrial power, technological leadership, and sovereignty. The clock is ticking. Europe is finally racing to build resilience and regain control. The first step: innovation in recycling, urban mining to recover rare earths from old products. Engineers are redesigning motors to use fewer or no rare earths, exploring alternatives like induction motors. Breakthroughs here could free Europe from its dependency. The bigger challenge: building new non-Chinese supply chains from scratch. This means investing billions in new mines, processing plants, and magnet factories in friendly countries and at home. Governments are stepping in with subsidies, fast-track permits, and ambitious targets. The EU's Critical Raw Materials Act is a bold move, but results will take years. The race for resilience is a marathon, not a sprint. Europe's industrial future depends on whether it can innovate and rebuild faster than the next crisis hits. The stakes: autonomy or continued vulnerability. As rare earths run short, Europe's auto industry faces a second crisis: a crippling semiconductor shortage. Modern cars need thousands of chips. Without them, production halts. The problem: Europe relies on a handful of Asian foundries, especially in Taiwan and South Korea. Years ago, Europe outsourced chip manufacturing for cost reasons. Now, that's a strategic liability. Automakers are forced to cut features, prioritize luxury models, and delay affordable EVs. The EU Chips Act aims to double Europe's share of global chip production, but new fabs take years and billions to build. For now, the chokehold remains, driving up prices and stalling the green transition. The lesson: technological dependency is a multi-front battle. Europe must invest, innovate, and diversify, or risk falling further behind. The assembly lines remain silent, waiting for solutions. Europe stands at a crossroads: one path, strategic autonomy, bold investment, innovation, and unity to regain control over key technologies; the other, continued dependency, stagnation, and a slow slide into irrelevance. The debate is fierce. Some call for muscular industrial policy, others warn against protectionism and inefficiency. The crisis is a wake-up call, a chance for renewal, if Europe can seize it. Can the EU overcome its divisions and act decisively? The stakes: industrial leadership, economic security, and Europe's place in the world. The silence on the assembly lines is a warning and an opportunity. The choice is urgent, and the world is watching. Europe's future will be decided not in boardrooms abroad, but in the actions it takes now.